2 videos recorded in the same night? That's crazy. But I want to make sure I give you guys some good content since I have been slacking. I'll be the first to admit it. I've been slacking. But yeah, man. So Drytron. Me and Drytron didn't have the best relationship at first. It wasn't until let me give a big shout out to the homie Z Warrior Pat. You know what I mean? That dude is a Yu-Gi-Oh genius, man. That guy knows his stuff, man. I'm glad to have met the guy. You know what I mean? Chock full of information. But I was having a conversation with him while he was streaming. One of the last times he streamed, and he was using Drytron. And I was like, ugh, you're using this? And he was like, well, why do you feel that way? And I was like, well, I was playing this, and then people were playing this with the Herald and all that, and I just was like, I'm not really much of a fan. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, okay, I feel you, but I mean, Drytron is actually a good deck, man. So I was like, okay, I mean, I know he knows his stuff, so I wouldn't argue that, but I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. I'll try it out. And in doing so, I gotta say I really like it. So this version that we're looking at right now, this is the first version I built. I did get the Herald card, so I do have a Herald version, but I wanted to keep them separate. I wanted to still have my pure, and then when I'm feeling real spicy, then I'll get into the Heralds. But Drytron is cool. It's good. I like it. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions about it. Some may like it. I know a lot don't. But it is pretty cool. So let's go over it. All right. So also when I first built this, I knew from what I've seen people do, I was kind of already somewhat familiar with the combos a little bit. Like I knew just by looking at them which ones do what. But so like when I practiced, here's the thing that I do when I build a deck. I'll go into solo mode. I'll practice it for like maybe about a week in total. I'll mess around with it, and I don't really look up combo videos. I kind of like to just discover it myself and learn it myself, and then that way I can just do what I want to do, because there's always going to be the experts out there. Oh well, why did you do this? Or you ended on this board. What are you doing? You know what I mean? But that's the one thing about this game that I really do like, is that, yeah, you can follow that same cookie cutter way of doing things, and to me that's boring. If everybody did everything the same way, that'd be boring. So I like doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm looking at decks to build and I look at examples, I don't like to build it exactly how that person had. I like to still throw my own sauce in there, and maybe some cards that I have my own, practice with or what have you. Add my own flavor to it, because this whole cookie cutter, you must do this to do this to do this to do this. I think that's very boring in my opinion. But anyway, so from what I've gathered, Thubin, this card adds a ritual monster, and the thing with Drytron, you have to tribute to summon. So if you have 2 Drytron in hand, whichever one you want to summon, you have to tribute the other one. So with Thubin, he can add 1 ritual monster from your deck to your hand. Beta Rastaban can target one of your banished cards and send them back to the graveyard. Gamma El Tanin will special summon another Drytron from the graveyard. We'll add the Drytron ritual, or just a ritual period? Add 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand. And then Data Altius if you reveal a ritual spell or a ritual monster in your hand, then you can draw one card, right? So that's what they do. Then Ash, and I also have Cyber Angel Natasha, Ben 10. I like to use Ben 10 in both. I feel like even if you're not using the Heralds, Ben 10 is still, it's still helpful to use. You know what I mean? In my opinion. I mean, I could take her out, but I already like her in the Ben. I mean, so I'm good. So we have Ben 10, and then Eda 10, and then we got Meteonis Draconids. Yeah, we have that guy. And then, we got the 3 cyber emergencies, preparation of rites, Drytron Nova. I'll read this. Special summon 1 Drytron monster from your deck was destroyed during the end phase. You can only activate 1 Drytron Nova per turn. You cannot special summon monsters except monsters that cannot be normal summon set the turn you activate this card. So really, not that that'd be a good idea, but that would work with Urasarctic as well, because they don't normal summon. But I doubt anybody would do that. So moving on. Then Urasarctic Drytron. So in my last video with Urasarctics, you saw that I used this guy, Urasarctic. I can't speak highly enough about this card because I'm a really big fan of it, I'd say. And I was thinking, you know what? Why not? Why not add Urasarctic to this? Because he does the same thing in both Urasarctic and Drytron. But in my opinion, he works better with Drytron because in order to use it with Urasarctic, you have to have Urasarctic Polari on the field. And sometimes that can get, more often than not, depending, that can get disrupted. But all you have to do is have Thuban on the field to summon this guy, and you have to banish one. So you have to banish Urasarctic Drytron, and then the field spell Fafnir. No. I'm lying. You banish 1 copy of Fafnir and 1 copy of Big Dipper. So you need Big Dipper in order to use Urasarctic. So you banish each one of those, and then he can be summoned. But let me read this card though, for real. Let's read this. This card is always treated as an Urasarctic and Drytron card. Must be special summoned with Urasarctic Drytron. Once per turn, if another effect monster is summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can add 1 Urasarctic or a Drytron monster from your deck to your hand. Once per turn, you can target 1 of your banished Urasarctic or Drytron monsters, add it to your hand. Alright? So that's cool. Similar, I thought about even taking out Rastaban, because these essentially, except this one sends it back to the grave, and this one will add the banish to your hand. So that's the only difference. Then we got 1 copy of Meteonis. You don't really need more than 1 copy, honestly. So that's cool. And then with the Herald version, you can actually use this to special summon the Herald rituals. So that's cool. Called by the grave, and then because I'm discarding so many things to the graveyard, Droplet is honestly perfect. So then let's go to the extra deck, and we got, you got Urasarctic, Slacker Magician. I like Slacker Magician. Assembled Nightingale. We got Kikin Nagashi Fucho. I don't know. I'm partial to this card. I just think it looks cool. This is the bird got an attitude right now. I just like this card, really. That's why I put it in there. And we got 2 copies of Mu Beta. I love this card so much. Not just its effect, but the art. This is the coolest looking Drytron monster. I'm kind of surprised they didn't give Mu Beta its own animation, honestly. I hope they do at some point because he deserves one. Downward Magician, Zeus, Relinquish Anima. If you have Relinquish Anima, use it. I definitely suggest it because they're all level 1. And then Phoenix, Unicorn, Crusadia, Abramax, access code, Underworld Goddess. So yeah, so I'll show you a replay, and then I'll also go into solo mode and show you like a little bit of kind of what I've been practicing. But let's see, let's head over to the replay. And this is this replay is pretty. There's not a lot going on because I was able to have a pretty decent inboard, so my opponent didn't do anything really. He just let me win, basically. I'll show you how you can get Urasarctic, Draconids, and Mubeta on the same turn here. Yep, Cyber Emergency, Thubin, Faf. Yeah, Urasarctic Drytron, Thubin. Yep, Draconids, Urasarctic, Banish Dipper, Banish Fafnir. There we go. Nova, Eltanin. Yep. Add to my hand. Ali Baba, or whatever his name is. Ali Baba. There we go. Mubeta. I think that was. Oh yeah, that was the other guy. Yeah. One where you can draw a card. On this clean animation. Yep. So I feel like this board is good, to be honest. Yeah, so. Yeah, that was it. So before I go into solo mode, let me show you my Herald version now. I'll show you that too. Alrighty, so here we go. Here it is. This is the very unpopular version. But shout out to the homies though. They helped me put this together on stream. So shout out to them, man. So we got Ava. You know, Orange. Diviner. Most people were playing 3 copies, but I think I'm good. I mean, I don't know. We'll see, but I think I'm good with 2, to be honest. And the same Natasha, Benton, Eda-10. And I have Herald of Perfection and a card that for the longest time I despised. I'm not going to say the name that I call it, but it's not a good name it's not a good name, but I don't really need to go over this. I'm sure you guys have seen this and you know what it does, so yeah. And then what's the only, and then Arclight, 2 copies of that, and then Beatrice. This was a card I just wanted to use, and you know, I might end up building Burning Abyss one of these days, but I don't know, I just thought this card looks cool. And I just wanted to use it just to try it out, you know what I'm saying? So this was a good excuse. And it's pretty much the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, I got slack. I mean, downered, but I feel like it's not really too necessary. But you know, see, even when I'm like making a video, I just start thinking of how I can, you know what I mean, edit the deck or whatever, so excuse me on that. But yeah, so that is my Herald version. Let's hop into solo mode real quick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. So okay, this is what I'll do. So cool. Yep. Yep. Show Natasha. Draw a card. Call by. Cool. Let's see. Maybe I'll tribute Natasha this time. Yep. might be a little scuffed. So I could send let's do this. I'm still like learning it too, like learning different things I can do. So the bad thing about what I just did was I took away Mu Beta's ability to negate a spell or trap because I used his because I used the units. So ideally, this isn't the best thing that you want to do in this situation. Like, I'm still protected from, you know, with Draconids' effect, because I can send cards to the grave, but ideally you don't want to end a turn like this. Ideally, and I'll show you what I mean, where I'm still protected a little bit. I'll just go ahead and do it. You can see, yeah. So yeah, so boom. Okay, this is good. Alright, so let's do, yeah, why not? Tribute this. Even though this duel's over, really. Alright, cool. Tannin. Boom. Yeah. Cool. And then I'll send Thubin. Alright. Thubin. Tribute off this Mu Beta. Alright. Let's see here. Now I will lower your attack. Boom, and then boom. So we still have one unit on Mu Beta. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Call by the grave. Not gonna deal with that. Yeah. Oh wait, was it from the deck or from the graveyard? Oh, whoops. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Cool. So we're just gonna nip this in the bud. Yeah. Thubin. See ya. See ya. That is game. So I hope that the computer tries to activate this so I can show you the negating effect. I'm not gonna go ahead and pop that. I'm just gonna show you. Let's see. There we go. Boom. Negated. Don't even think about it. Boom. Easy. Easy. So yeah, so that's Drytron. I do enjoy it. I'm not gonna even lie, I really do. But you know, and like I said, there was a couple plays in the solo mode where they weren't really ideal, but it got the job done. But again, that is against a computer, so you know, even if you mess up a little bit, you can still kind of recover. That's what I do like about Drytron is that you can crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and crank your way out of a bad situation. And there, you know, at first when I was thinking like, oh, these, you know, your Sarctic and Drytron are actually then like nothing alike. But if you think about it, they do share the tribute effect. They do both share that same tribute effect where you can't just normal summon them. The thing, and except these are all level ones, and your Sarctics, the non-tuners are level 7, and the tuners are level 8. But that's really the only real similarity, uh, because they're really it's really synchro based, but it's not. You're not necessarily synchro summoning with your Sarctic. You're just special summoning, but they're still synchro monsters. So it's kind of confusing. So though those work with synchros, these work with XZs. Well, one XZ and rituals mainly. So yeah, but anyway, I digress. Let me know what you think. Uh, any Drytron professionals, I'm sure there's going to be one. You know, let me know your opinion. If you're interested in building it, let me know as well. And that is it. Peace.